What's going on, Team Cuss? How are we doing today? Hope everyone's doing pretty well. My beard's kind of out of control, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna put this on right now. We got a good one for you today. We're gonna be doing a little Q&A, a little trombone Q&A. You know, as you know, I prepared some questions beforehand on Instagram. Got some people to ask some questions and whatnot. We got some great questions, so let's get into it right now. So the first question we got is, how's quarantine going? So this is probably one of the most relevant questions. Man, quarantine's been going crazy. I go to Berklee College of Music, for those of you who don't know. I was gonna graduate this year in May, so, you know, a lot of our plans got canceled. It was really sad because we had a lot of opportunities in store, especially for what I'm doing in the trombone world, and even just like on my own with like the music I'm making and the people that I'm playing with and whatnot. We lost a lot of opportunities, so definitely hurt a lot, but at the same time, I mean, quarantine itself is going all right. I mean, you know, there's a lot of free time to be creative and a lot of great things to do. I mean, if you want to play all day and if you want to record things, you can only control what you can control. You know what I mean? And something like this that goes on, you really don't have any control over it. So you just gotta make the best of it, and hopefully, when this thing's all done, we'll all be in a better situation. So, how do you figure out the notes for your covers? Okay, so this is a question I get a lot, actually. So every cover I do, I don't use any music. For those of you who don't know, no music is used in any of my covers when I originally play them. I will maybe listen to the track maybe 2 or 3 times, and I'll kind of hear the notes in my head, and then I'll play it. So the whole playing by ear kind of thing that I do, I've been doing it for a while, not just like within the last couple of years since I've been doing these covers, but I've been doing this since I first started playing. I would just turn on records and turn on different types of things, whether it was like James Brown shit or like whatever, and I would practice listening to the song and then playing it, you know? So I feel like just from the jump, I was never like quick to try to find sheet music and read. I would always just try to, you know, listen to things one time and then try and play them. So transcribing, you could call it transcribing, and I do a lot of transcribing till this day, but I feel like that's the best way to kind of, you know, learn your horn and learn all the other things. So let's keep going here. We got some other questions here. What trombonist do you look up to? Okay, so I would say my top 5 trombonists would be probably Wycliffe Gordon, Marshall Jilks, Trombone Shorty, Bill Watrous, and then probably either Andy Martin or Vincent Gardner. You know, so those guys are all really, really killing. I love Trombone Shorty because I feel like in the trombone world, he's done something that no other trombonist has really ever done before, and he's doing a lot of great things. So Trombone Shorty is killing, and even he can play jazz just as well as he plays funk and rock and all those other things that he does. So Trombone Shorty definitely is one of my top influences. I'm trying to be something similar to him, but in the hip-hop world, essentially. But yeah, all those other guys I mentioned are great jazz players and classical players. If you've never heard, you know, Wycliffe play classical, go check it out. He's a monster. And same with, you know, Marshall Jilks, and I'm sure Andy Martin can hold it down with classical as well. Bill Watrous, God rest his soul, but great player, just an icon. And also Vincent Gardner too. I really love his sound. So I kind of like, you can kind of hear influences through all those guys in my playing, but I would say like if I had to pick like my favorite trombonist for sound, I would say Marshall. I haven't heard anyone play cleaner than him. And then for just like intensity / like enthusiasm, entertainment wise, I'd go with Trombone Shorty. And also Wycliffe too. Wycliffe's crazy, but Trombone Shorty, I love the way he's really just like in it, you know what I mean? He's like fully in it. So yeah, so those are definitely my influences. So we got another one. So why are you so good looking, man? I don't even know, man. I mean, you'd have to ask somebody else, man. I don't know. I right now I don't think I'm that good looking. I mean, I got a big beard. I haven't gotten a haircut in weeks. I look like a monster. So I don't know what made you say that, but yeah, that's a funny question. Anyway, how do I prepare effectively for auditions? Okay, so people freak out and they try to cram everything into like 2 or 3 weeks before an audition, and they really try to go all in. But I feel like if your practice routine is solid enough, you're gonna cover the things that you're gonna do in your audition anyways. So I would really just make sure your practice routine is dope, and then when auditions roll around, incorporate the same things that they're gonna have you do in the audition in your practice routine. So now maybe you're practicing every day for like a half an hour longer, but you're incorporating all the things that are gonna be in the audition. The other thing I would mention though is, you definitely wanna make sure that, like, if you're preparing a piece or something like that, you really wanna make sure that you're playing that piece in front of somebody beforehand, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a parent, whether it's a friend, whether it's, anybody, a random person, it doesn't matter. Like, you want to get comfortable playing it in front of somebody so that when you go into the audition, you're not like, oh, there's a person here listening to me. You want to make sure you play it in front of as many people as possible. I would always run like dress rehearsals for auditions like a million times when I did All-State and all those things, and like I would really make sure that I was consistently like playing in front of different people. It can really make a big difference. I also find too that if you don't play in front of people and you're just practicing in your room, and then you go and you play in front of people, what you'll find is like you're kind of like freaking out and you're not as fully prepared as you thought you were. So definitely play in front of people and incorporate all the things that are going to be in the audition in your practice routine. Keep going here. How do you practice effectively? I would say it depends on, every person goes about it differently, right? So I think practicing effectively is making sure that you're practicing the things that you're not good at every single day. And figuring out like, okay, what do I need to get better at, right? Is it my sound? Is it my upper register? Is it my lower register? Is it my speed? Is it my intonation? Whatever, right? So you figure out, okay, what do I need to get better at? Is it my improvisation? Is it my reading? Whatever, right? So you figure all that out, and then you say, okay, I'm gonna break it down and really make sure that I'm working on those things for a specific amount of time every single day. I think effective practice time is just when you can walk away from the practice session and say to yourself, look, this was productive, I feel good, and over time you can kind of see the improvement. I think the hardest part about practicing is like not seeing improvement. But it's like anything else, you go to the gym and you work out for a year, you're with yourself every single day, it's gonna be hard for you to see the improvement. So it's really important that you record yourself and take pictures of yourself, with the gym. But in the music sense, record yourself every time you practice, and then you can look back and hear yourself like 6 months ago and be like, oh wow, I sound way better now. So definitely do those types of things. And I would also say too, don't necessarily strive for time. Make sure that like, if you're practicing for, say 4 or 5 hours, I mean, that's crazy, right? That's a lot. But there are people who practice for 4 or 5 hours and they're doing crap most of the time. There are people who practice for 45 minutes a day, and it's like they're never checking their phone, they're doing, all the right stuff, they're going from one thing to another, and there's no breaks in between, and it's just straight practice time. So, figure out what works best for you, but I would say make sure that it's clean practice time. Make sure that you're not getting up in the middle of it and going and, getting water or, checking your phone every 5 minutes. So I think effective practice time is practice time where you feel like you're getting something done and where you are being super productive. We're gonna keep going here. Let's see what else we got. Man, there's a lot of statements here, not really questions. Like people are saying like, I love your page, I love what you've been doing. Hope you and your family been okay during these times. Much love, I appreciate you. What's your advice for building range in the highs and lows? That's a good question. I think, the short answer would be, if you want to play in the upper register, play in the upper register. If you want to play in the lower register, play in the lower register, right? I mean, it's that simple. I don't really think there's like, yeah, there are things you can do that are gonna help, but at the end of the day, like if you're not playing up there or if you're not playing down there, you're not gonna get better. It's like, how do I get abs? It's like, well, do abs every day, and then you gotta make sure you're doing the right stuff, but like, you just wanna make sure that you're playing in the upper register every single day, because that's the only way you're gonna get your upper register better. If you don't play for a week or a month, when you come back and you play, you're not gonna be able to play in the same range, right? it's the same thing. If you practice up there for a month, you're gonna find that your range is gonna keep getting better. You know, there's always a limit. Like, there's always, like, there's a certain point where, like, you can't play any higher, or you can't play any lower. On a regular tenor trombone, the lowest note you can play is a low E, and then you get to pedals. And then if you play the low pedal E, that's like the lowest possible note you can play. So, like, you know, there is like a stop point, I guess. Like, I feel like on trombone, if you can hit a double B flat, like, you're good, you know? You're good, you know? Or if you can hit a high F. I mean, I think anything above that, no one's really playing up there, like, you know, high G's and high, you know, like high G's and like high A's and high B flats and stuff. I mean, you know, it's cool to say you can play up there, but, like, I don't even think it's really that necessary. I think just, like, keep going though, keep building your range, play every day. Really just work on playing up there, and you'll find that your range will get a lot better for sure. Your YouTube channel is so underrated. How do you only have 2,000 subscribers? Wow, okay. Well, I appreciate that. You know, that means the world to me. You know, I don't look at it that way. So the way I look at the YouTube thing is, obviously I'm trying to grow the channel, but at the same time, I'm not over here like, oh, I only have 2,000 subscribers, like what, you know, what the F, right? Actually, I think I have like 2,300 now. By the way, if anyone's watching who's new, if you'd be so kind, you know, we'd love a subscribe. So if you want to hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to my channel and to everything that we're doing here. But yeah, no, I mean, I think, you know, I'm gonna say this. I think trombone is an underdog instrument, and I think that the reason why the numbers aren't coming as quickly as, you know, a sax player or a flute player or a drummer or something else that, like, people just know more, even trumpet, right? I feel like it's because people still don't even know what a trombone is, you know what I mean? Like, people just, like, they mix it up with trumpets. Like, I got reposted last week by a big YouTube channel, and they called my joint a trumpet. And you know, this channel has, like, the channel that reposted me has, like, I think like over 1 million subscribers, and they called it a trumpet. So it's like, that kind of stuff is not gonna help at all. I feel like it's just kind of tough to get, you know, people to, like, look past the fact that, you know, trombone doesn't sound bad, you know? It's just a matter of, like, who's playing and how they play and the way that they play and what they do. So, but I can tell you this, like, the channel, I've only really been doing this seriously for less than a year, posting consistently on YouTube and whatnot. And, I mean, we're already up to 2,300 subscribers. I think when we started posting seriously, we were only at like 500. So, I mean, you can already see, like, 2,000 subscribers in less than a year. I mean, that's pretty good. So I'm nothing but grateful. I just think that, like, over time, we'll keep growing. I mean, the goal is to be at 10K by the end of the year. So once again, if you want to help that cause, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notifications, please. But yeah, I mean, 10K by the end of the year sounds like a decent goal at this rate. So that's what we're going for. But once again, I mean, I'm just grateful, and I appreciate everyone who's been watching. How do you sound so clean? So that, the short answer would be, I was kind of gifted, you know. I think from a young age, I was really, really blessed to have, like, a really, really good sound. And, you know, I've had a really, really good sound for years, and I've been doing all these things and whatnot. The longer answer would be, you know, working on classical, playing a lot of classical, really, really paying attention to the sound that comes out of my horn for every video, for every post, for every time I'm playing anywhere. And really just making sure that I sound clean. Recording yourself is, like, the #1 way to sound better. So I would really say just record yourself and play a lot of classical, and really, really focus on your articulations. And if you're playing a cover or something, focus on sounding exactly like the artist. Don't play it so square. Try to play it like the artist is singing it or rapping it. Yeah, so the other questions were, who is Carolina drafting tonight? So when I put the post out on IG telling people to, you know, send their questions and whatnot, it was the night of the draft, which was last night. and it's crazy because Panthers drafted 7th, and they drafted a defensive tackle. You know, long story short, you know, I don't want to bore anybody who's not a football fan, but real quick, if you are a football fan, this is pretty good. I've been a Panthers fan for like 10 years. I love them. I love Cam Newton. I love everybody on the team. But they got rid of Cam Newton, and you know, I'm really not even a Panthers fan right now. Like, I can't believe they did it to him. I can't believe they, you know, kind of betrayed him in a way. I still can't believe Cam doesn't have a job, and I'm just really upset about, you know, the new coach. I don't like the new coach rule. I don't like Tepper. I don't like what they're doing with the team. So I'm kind of upset about it, but at the same time, you know, I realized that, like, with Tom Brady going to Tampa, and you got Todd Gurley who went to Atlanta, and you got New Orleans who, you know, I think they got Malcolm Jenkins and they didn't really lose anybody. I think like Carolina in that division is gonna go like 6-10. So I'm hoping Carolina does bad. I'm hoping Cam Newton goes somewhere else, and I can like start supporting him and that new team. And the other questions, what else we had? I got one that said, do you want to see me naked? And it's very inappropriate. But I think the short answer would be no. That was crazy. When I saw that, I was like, yo, what? I think it was like a bot or something. Somebody crazy had to come in and do that. But another question I got was, how do you feel motivated when you feel burnt out? This is a great question. I feel like it's really tough. Here's the answer. So it's tough to stay motivated doing something that you don't really like to do. But if you're doing something that you enjoy doing, I don't really think motivation is that hard, because you love what you're doing so much that like it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like you're just doing what you love to do. You know, I love recording trombone, so it never feels like work. You know what I mean? I love playing and learning new ideas on the horn, so it doesn't feel like work. When you feel burnt out, I mean, if you're playing for 2, 3, 4 hours a day and you're getting burnt out, I mean, my thing would be like, I think it's great that you're playing that long, but maybe play a little bit less, just because, you know, I don't even necessarily think it's good to like get to a point where like you don't even feel like playing anymore. You've been playing so long. Some days you just get up and it's just not, it's cloudy, it's dark, it's whatever, and you just don't feel like doing anything, right? All you gotta do is like, whether it's the gym or whether it's playing your horn or whether it's like homework or whatever it is that you're procrastinating or putting off, as soon as you just do it, you'll feel better. And like, it'll be easier. Just fight through and get to the point where like, okay, well, like I'm already on the way to the gym, so I'm here. Okay, I'm gonna work out hard now. This is the perfect opportunity. I've been telling a lot of people, this is the perfect opportunity to learn a new skill, do something different, try new things, and like really, really, really work. Because when you think about it, like, we may never get this opportunity in our lifetimes again of like, you know, 6 months of like not being able to go to school, work, job, you name it, you know? This is you can't even go to the gym right now. This is the perfect time to be, as a creative, this is the perfect time to be putting in work and trying new things and learning and growing. So that's gonna conclude the Q&A today. I really do appreciate everybody who, you know, put their questions down. I really appreciate everyone who's watching. Once again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 10K views or 10K subscribers by the end of the year, and we need everybody on board. So if you're new to this channel, once again, I appreciate you so much. Thank you guys for watching, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok.